Oh, I couldn't resist doing that. Oh my god. Anyway, hey! It's me, Nate Jackson, the Criterion Collector Reviewer Guide person. 44, The Red Shoes. Dance the Blues. Ballet Dance the Blues. Not the same, but maybe they are. 48, 134 minutes. Good God, this one took forever. No, it didn't. It just took me forever to watch it. Busy, and also because of the fact that God, I must be out of shape because that totally tore me up. Anyway, yeah, no, it's just like I thought that the supplements. I guess I thought the supplements would take forever because they're all on the second disc, but a lot of them are just pictures. But we'll get to that in a minute. Anyway, but let's talk about the film. Directed by these two guys, Michael Powell and Emmerich Pressburger, whom apparently did quite a few. Couple that we'll see later in the Criterion Collection, one called "I Know Where I'm Going" and "Black Narcissus." And yeah, so sound interesting. But anyway, and this is one that my father actually owns on VHS. So, funny stuff. Anyway, yeah. So basically, this movie is about this this guy who's like this owner of this ballet company, and they have this. They show this ballet, and all these kids are college kids are going to go see it, and one of them notices that they took his they stole from him, or apparently they stole some music from him to put in the ballet, and he's upset, so he wants to go run and see him, and he's upset that he just walks out and pisses off everybody. And yeah, so then meanwhile afterwards he keeps wanting to go see him, and while the ballet's going, this countess wants to see him as well, in order so that he might. I think she wants his daughter to dance for him. Whose name? God, I forget her name. Gotta love these booklets so you can remember their names. They all had weird names. The college kid's Julian Glasper, I think his name. Julian Craster. Victoria Page. How did I forget Victoria Page? That's such an easy name, and they said it like 15,000 times throughout the film. But it's Boris Lermontov. That, oh god, ain't no way in hell I'd remember that. But anyway, so Lermontov is the director. Victoria Page is I think the daughter of the Countess, or Lady Neston, or I think it's Lady Neston is her name. And he doesn't want to see anybody dance. He's like, nope, you ain't. I don't want to see you. Nope. So yeah, there's that, and also meanwhile, but yeah, so gosh, I'm just so lost here. This was a good one. I'm just trying to put everything together. And so Lermontov finally actually gives her a chance, and so he ends up sending her off to the ballet company where the what's his name, Lyubov, who's the head ballet dancer guy, has to deal with her and all that, and he meets Craster. Ends up actually getting a job with the company as the director, as the assistant director, and then finally the main director, and it's like everything just kind of spills together, and they eventually comes across a ballet called The Red Shoes, which is based on a story by Hans Christian Andersen about this girl who finds a pair of red shoes and ends up becoming too attached to them and ends up dancing for her life. And this apparently is going to be the play, the ballet that will make Victoria Page, and Victoria Page consequently will make The Red Shoes. So they put it on, and it's a huge success. And all the meanwhile, Victoria Page is torn between these two people whom she's falling for. Two passions. One, Julian, who she's slowly finding attractive, as well as Lermontov, but not so much Lermontov the person as what he represents. He represents success for her. He represents dancing for her, and dancing is her life. She lives for dancing, as most ballet dancers seem to. So yeah, the whole time there's a long 17-minute sequence, which is just the ballet, just dedicated to the ballet, and it showcases off a lot of special effects. Oh, and it also, delves into Victoria Page's mind, not just and not just that character she's playing in the ballet. So yeah, there's a lot of that, and afterwards, of course, it becomes a huge success. But eventually, Julian becomes too much to handle for Lermontov, and especially after he finds out that Victoria and Julian are in love, and he wants to put a stop to it because he wants her for himself, and so he ends up firing Julian, and consequently Victoria leaves him as well, and leaves him, so he's kind of lost, and he ends up firing Lyubov, I think, and I think he fires Lyubov first, I think, and then Julian, and Victoria leaves, and so he's kind of alone with his lawyer, and he apparently plans on, they get married, and he eventually, he thinks he's gonna break it up, but he instead just decides to get her old, I think, their old dancer, Boronskaya. Yeah, I butchered that, but anyway. And eventually, I think Lyubov gets rehired and all that, and I think even Julian gets. No, Julian doesn't get rehired because I remember he becomes a successful composer and he writes operas, and however, because he writes operas, Victoria doesn't dance as much as she used to. So she's pretty, she sacrificed her first love for her second, more or less. And basically, it's kind of, but by a chance meeting on a train, Lermontov proclaims to Victoria just says to Victoria that he wants to put on the red shoes again, but he doesn't want to do it without her. And so she agrees to dance for the red shoes again, while Julian is in London, I think, performing, doing his latest opera, conducting on the premiere of his latest opera. Julian apparently finds news of this when she is listening to the play, before the performance. She's listening to the performance, and is announced that Julian turned sick, and it just shows that he left the premiere for Victoria, and so the three of them are, the two of them confront Victoria there in the dressing room, and so she starts crying, and she says she needs to be alone, and she can't decide, and so eventually Julian leaves and starts to head back to London, and slowly as she walks toward the stage, she just has a nervous breakdown and runs out in her dress and runs down the stairs and runs towards Julian, but not toward Julian, but Julian notices her, and she runs off, and she dives off the scaffold or something and falls onto the train tracks. And Lermontov, of course, everybody's devastated. Lermontov, this is great. Anton Walbrook, who plays Lermontov, does this great scene at the end where he just screams, the audience just goes out to the audience and just screams, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have sad to announce that Victoria Page will not be dancing the red shoes tonight or any other night." And it's just and they decide, and what happens is they decide to do the red shoes without her. They do the ballet without the star. That's a trip. And basically, meanwhile at the train station, Victoria's on her last breath, as there's no way she could be survived. I think she broke her legs. And her last plea to Julian is to take off the red shoes, which, when you parallel it to the story of Andersen's play, or Andersen's story, is of course a great little parallel. And yeah, that's the basic plot. I butchered a couple of scenes, but more or less, it's a trip. This is a pretty trippy story, and I understand why it's in the Criterion collection. So there you go. As far as the direction is concerned, yeah, there are a lot of nice. I mean, there are a lot of nice shots, such as, of course, the whole of the ballet sequence. Which, to be honest with you, to be totally honest, I'm not a big ballet fan. I need dialogue, so I ended up fast forwarding through a lot of it, and the music I really wasn't feeling. And of course, I'm a huge music person, so if I don't like the music and ain't no dialogue happening, then I can get the gist of what's going on. So there was a lot of that ballet sequence I skipped until I saw, especially after there's one sequence where it seems like the shoes are standing up on end, and she jumps into them, and they lace themselves. And I was like, okay, now you're going into this whole other area, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm done with this. So yeah, I kind of moved on, but still, I mean, after that, I mean, there's of course Julian's. I think Julian's one of my favorite shots was Julian's reveal when she thinks that he's gone ill at the premiere of his new opera, and it turns out that he's in the doorway or something. It's like, and she closes like this mirror, and in the mirror she could see him, and it's like that was a nice shot. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that in there, and so I think what they did was, as far as adapting the play into a movie, as far as the story, turning this fairy tale into like a real life situation, I think they more or less nailed it. And as far as Maura Shearer is a wonderful dancer, she definitely revolutionized ballet. I think she more or less revolutionized ballet in film. And yeah, I mean, they're all great. There were some great actors, some really nice scenes, and just more or less just a good film. And for that, I give it an A minus. I give it an A minus because, personally, like I said, I think the ballet scene ran on a little too long. But that's just me. That's just my own opinion. But other than that, the story got me. And if the story can get me, especially one film at over 2 hours, which was another kind of apprehension I had about watching this film, because I thought, oh my god, I'm going to be sitting here for over 2 hour film. We're probably 5 hours of supplements, because it's a 2-disc set, or rather this edition's 2 discs. And yeah, so I was kind of apprehensive about that. But hey, we got through it. It was good, so A minus. Check this one out. I don't know if I'll ever get it, because first of all, like I said, my dad has it on VHS, so. But it's not the restoration, 2009 restoration. Oh my god, it looks good as shit. Yeah. So yeah, Red Shoes. Yeah. So anyway, supplements. There's a trailer. There's a bunch of there's like a 4-minute restoration demonstration with Martin Scorsese, which I guess this is one of his favorite films of all time. I think he likes all of Powell and Pressburger's films. They just show like the film before, restoration after, which is cool. It's kind of cool. There's the trailer, which is, of course, is one of those like, see this film now, not knowing what it's going to be. There's interviews with some of the stars, cinematographer, audio recording of actor Jeremy Irons reading excerpts from Powell and Pressburger's novelization of The Red Shoes, which I'm not a fan of Jeremy Irons, so I'm like, yeah. And it's, like I said, it's commentary, so we don't do commentary. But Disc 2, Profile of the Red Shoes, a documentary on the making of the film, featuring interviews with members of the production team. Basically what it is. It was produced by Carlton Television, and it was just 25 minutes of, just talking about, certain, like, casting and production, special effects and all that, and interviews with, just basically mostly on the production side, not really, none of the stars were, I think this was done after Maura Shearer passed away. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm assuming the commentary was probably taken from the original one, which was done in '99. So, all of the stars I think were still alive by then. Video interview with director Michael Powell's widow editor Thelma Schoonmaker Powell, the 2009 Cannes Film Festival, in which she discusses Powell, the film, and the restoration. Basically it. I guess she was doing a lot of restorations at the time, and so this was one that she was just promoting. And yeah, most of everything else is just a bunch of like supplement galleries, stills, shots of the stars, publicity shots of the stars, behind the scenes, shots from deleted scenes that were lost. There's just shots of memorabilia that Martin Scorsese has kept, including, I guess, the original red shoes, which is pretty sick. And then there's like a 15-minute animated film, which is supposed to be like the storyboards set to the music. And that I decided to listen to a little bit of Jeremy Irons, the story of, I guess, him telling Hans Christian Andersen the fairy tale. And doesn't add much. It adds a little to the fact that it's just music for 15 minutes. So I'd recommend always keeping that subtitles, that audio track on. And yeah, that's basically it. So once again, A-. Check this one out. It's pretty good. Whee! And so now we're finally 44. We got 45. Taste of Cherry finally came in yesterday, so we'll get to that. Probably we're gonna get to this one tomorrow. Actually, I'm gonna discuss this because this one it's only 95 minutes, not too long. That's a standard movie. We can do that. It's in Farsi, but whatever. That doesn't matter. And then there's an interview, so it shouldn't take too long. But then after that, 46, The Most Dangerous Game. I can't wait for this one because I love this story. I love the idea of, game hunter, for hunting humans. It's awesome. And so this one's only 63 minutes, and there's no other supplements. So I'm thinking we're gonna have ourselves a Criterion double feature tomorrow. Woo! Double feature. So yeah, and then I think somewhere in here we have never mind. I'm just talking to myself now. Oh no, it's over here. No, it's not over there. Anyway. And then number 47 is coming, Insomnia, which I have in my bag somewhere. And now we'll do that one probably Tuesday. So yeah, we got 3 more coming. So trying to get back on track. And then after that, Black Orpheus, Knights of Kabini, Karenini, and the ship sails on. It's 2 Fellini films at the end. So yeah, we'll hopefully get to 3 more next weekend. But for now, that's it for me. This one actually ran way longer than I thought it would. But yeah, anyway, David Bowie, play us out. The sound of playing on the radio. So yeah, anyway, no, I'm done with that. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow for Taste of Cherry and The Most Dangerous Game. Double feature, Criterion, double feature. And until then, put on your red shoes and dance the blues away, or ballet. Just don't die on train tracks. And until then, goodbye.